You never know where madness is going to find you. I flashbang myself to sleep. I am the madness that runs the machine that ate the man's lunch out of the can. I am that man. I am here early this time. Yes, thank you, Underslime. And hello, Mad Ones. And welcome again to Art with Mad Mel. I hope you're ready for some, well, Terminator-inspired action. I'm trying to finish this painting, so we're going to be working on that tonight. I hope you guys are excited about that. Those mad ones that are in the chat, if you guys want to talk, keep the madness inspired, please do so. For the new ones that are here, I hope you guys stick around long enough to see what's going on. Maybe you might get inspired, or just go completely insane. Either one is perfectly fine with me. And yeah, definitely, if you like the content, hit that subscribe button at the bottom. But nevertheless, we're about to get started here. I have almost this whole thing done, basically. I'm excited. I've been working on this for almost 5 months now. Love the goggles. Oh, thank you. You know, this is where all the madness gets downloaded. You know, it's just boop, 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 boop. You know, it goes down here, and then I put them on like so, and then I'm like, and then you know, and then I take them off, right? And then I'm back to normal, and then it goes on here. So, you know, it kind of inspires the madness a little bit. But thank you. Yeah, these are my favorite pair. I have another pair, but they're not as cool, right? They're kind of heavy. These are like, I would say about almost, I don't know. They're heavy. They're about as heavy as probably about 2 stacks of quarters. Like, I don't know, an ounce, something like that. I don't know how you judge it. Anyways, we're not going to waste any time. So let's go on ahead and get over here and start up. Now, I will ask you guys this, since I did this last time with no music and we were just talking. We could do that, or we can just go on ahead and play some music. So the first thing I want to know is, what do you guys want to do? I'll let you guys choose tonight. I'll let the mad ones pick. Now, make sure that your HUD coats are loosened. For those of you that are new here and don't know what that is, that's their straight jacket. Don't say that out loud, right? Because the others that are watching, they don't need to know that. That's none of their business. But you know, we like to make sure everybody's real snug. So, where we're at today and what we're going to be working on today is this section here. I want to finish this. We got the road already beat up. It looks really good. We got the treads that are even with this, right? So the treads are even. We got the little bit of detail. Don't really need to do much here, but that impression is beautiful. I am happy about that. Was a little iffy about it at first. Didn't know how it was going to turn out, but it turned out well, and I'm excited about that. So, medium I'm using, for those of you that need the technical aspect of things. The technical aspect of it is I'm using acrylic paint with a mixture of acrylic calligraphy, right? Like this stuff here. I'm going to try to hide the name and where I got it from, because let's be honest here. Not everybody likes what. Oh, I have paper clips. Cool, nice. Let's see. My HUD code has a Velcro. Oh, nice. That's good. Oh, well, you know, you wear yours for show, right? And I know that you have paper. How did you get paper clips? Who gave you paper clips? You weren't supposed to have paper clips. What was it? Was it nuclear nuisance again? Was he rolling around leaving things around again? Ah, I can't. That man, he gets, well, not man, fetus in a jar, but regardless, gets on my nerves. Anyways, back to what I was saying. We're going to try to finish up some of this, get some detail, right? I want to try to scoot this over some because, you know, well, this whole painting is very big and cumbersome. Love it, though. Love it. So we're going to be over here working on this. I'm not supposed to tell. Well, of course, as long as you didn't go into room 44, stay out of that. I'm the only person that can go in there. You know, I got some more stories for you guys, right? And I'm putting that stuff together. I have some typed out, so I'll be throwing that in the Discord. For those of you that want to join the Discord, it's up there. The link is there. Keep in mind, though, that we have a nice mad crew of people there. So, And you'll have a fun time. We like to inspire each other with art and try to have a nice community. So if you're coming in there to be a troll, you won't last long. But, you know, I don't think that we'll run into that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my coat off because, you know, I'm dealing with paint and I don't want to mess it up, right? Because I already have to fight off people with this jacket and stuff all the time. Hold on. There we go. Yep. See? Now, if I get it on the shirt, like blood, I don't have to worry about it. Because this shirt, well, like blood, can somewhat come out. Not really. Blood doesn't come out of clothes. I don't know why I know that. Probably because we have a lot of incidents here. Now, our incident report is very, very clean. There we go. Now I'm going to finish up the sidewalk. Make it make sense because it's supposed to be a curve. That the dimensions are off, so I'm going to have to go back and fix that. But that's what we're doing. I'm using a calligraphy pen, right? Let me show you the pen. Let me show you the box. The Duchess got this. It is a GC quill. There you go. Look, I showed a product I'm not really sponsored with, but whatever. There it is, GC quill. Nice little pen. This is the pen right here. Pretty awesome. I would not recommend using this until you feel comfortable. And what I mean by feeling comfortable, I mean by using one of these. Okay? Just a simple pen. You can get this off of Amazon, I think, for like the kit for this and about 10 nibs for like $9. Very, very reasonable. Not bad to use. Hey, Demetra, thank you for showing up. Real easy to use. Not bad. $25 probably to get you a calligraphy set and some ink and some paper. And that way you can get familiar with this. It's not hard to do. It's just this type of pen is very finicky. And you have to be careful with it because it comes with a cartridge. And I want to do this over here so you guys can see it in case if it ruptures. Shouldn't, but it has a bladder in the back, right? This is one that actually twists, so as it goes down, I can twist it down to give it more ink, but usually they have a cartridge that goes in the back, but the cartridges have a vacuum issue, so you kind of have to know how to fill your own pen. Not a problem, not really that big of an issue, but it's a little bit more advanced. Now, I will say this, you get cleaner lines, I believe. Now, who am I? I'm just some insane man in a psychological mental facility of the artistically insane, and I'm in the basement, a back room with people screaming out there, right? And so who am I, right? But you see what I can do with it. Yeah, so that's the fun part. So you get more control, I believe. I feel like you get more control because if you're used to sketching, the interesting thing with this, once you get it going, the only downside with this is it has to be in a certain angle, right? It has to be like an angle for the ink to come out. So as soon as you raise the pen up, you're going to have a little bit of an issue. But as long as it's tilted, you're good to go. One of the things I will say using a calligraphy pen that I've realized is that it makes you really have to know what your line is going to be. It's not one of those things that when you're using a calligraphy pen, like, oh man, I can just swash around like a brush. You have to know exactly where you're making that line because it's going to come out and it's a certain way that you have to put pressure, a certain way that you have to do all that. Now, I can show you guys later, and I need to, hold on a second. Will one of you mad ones please throw something in the Discord for me to remind me to don't forget to get a list of materials, because I got so much stuff going on. Sometimes I forget, and I've forgotten twice now. So if one of you could be so kind, I know somebody's already wiggled out of their coat. So they could probably do it. So don't be scared, right? So but yeah, it's very easy to pick up and actually it's not too hard to master once you understand how it works. And with the difference between a dip pen and one of these is all about the bladder and also about the nib, because one of these you can't really change the nib out, which is the tip, right? Ooh, that's dirty. Change your tip. So you can't really change that on this one. It does come with an extra usually, or you can purchase a spare, but normally it doesn't come with different types like the nibs on here. You can get a box for these and it comes with like, I don't know, you can get anywhere from like 10 to 30 different types. So there's a little bit of a difference. Let's see here. But you can get more detail with one of these, I believe, as long as you use acrylic calligraphy ink. Indian calligraphy ink works pretty well, but it does turn, as you can see here, some of my line work is a little flat, right? It's not as dark. The acrylic type would actually be a little bit better. It would come out a little bit bolder, a little bit brighter. You can see that usually in some of the white outlines that I've done in some of those areas because I've used it before in that too. But these are, it's a very nice tool to use. I feel like if you also inspired to do like comic books or anything like that, like hand done. Now I know a lot of people are like, oh, you want to do that, Mel? You get software. You don't need to do that. Well, I will say this: hand drawing always keeps your skill top notch. You can use a pad, and there's nothing wrong with a pad. You guys know I have a pad. I use the digital tablet myself, but I always come back here. I always come back here to the hand, because if you can keep this skill, and this goes for anybody, beginner to professional, which I don't think anybody who's a professional, one of those people would probably be watching my mad self, but you never know. I try to give everybody the opportunity, right? Don't want to be one of those people that be like, quick to judge. But yeah, it's there's many different ways to use it. You just got to practice. The biggest thing is practicing, and don't be afraid of it. It's new. It's a different tool, right? Completely different tool, and you can do a lot more with it. And it's like, some people look at it as, oh well, it's just sketching with a pen, but it takes more than that. It's almost, I say, probably dealing with a brush is easier than a calligraphy pen. And there is one reason, okay? And that is because the nib has a little bitty hole. I don't know if I can show you guys that, but you can probably see it somewhere up here, right? So that little bitty hole that you see there, that little indentation where the tip of my fingernail, this finger, is that's an oxygen hole, okay? And in that little hole, it also has that little crevice that you can see here where the little bevel at the end is at. Now, if you push that, it will separate. And let me explain. Like this. See, I figured that I would show you guys this because I really want you guys to try this, especially when this one's a little stiff. But you can see how it splits open, right? So once that splits open, what happens to all the ink? Well, this one has an empty section, so it doesn't really do anything, where this one doesn't. It actually has a little bit of a darker area underneath, and that plastic piece is what dispenses the ink out. Fantastic! You learned something. Great. So, after that, the biggest issue that you run into is putting too much pressure on it. It'll basically spit out ink. Once that happens, you usually have a mess. And, like we all like to believe, Bob Ross always used to say, happy little accidents. I can tell you one thing. You spew out calligraphy ink all over your picture, and you have to dab it up with a towel, paper towel, rag, whatever. That's not a happy accident. That's a borderline catastrophe. And I wouldn't be surprised if you crash out and lose your mind over it. That's perfectly fine. But you know what that means? That means that you'll come here. And then you get to be part of the flock and get to see everybody and get smooth, and then everybody's in good shape, And because once you really lean into it, it's not bad here. Unless I have to use it with a light hand. Being heavy-handed, it will break. Yes, and that's a problem I have. I'm very heavy-handed. Now, as you see here, it's froze up again. And see, that's the other. There we go. Okay, so now I'm coming over here just to do some detail. I've been looking at this. I look at this thing all the time, right? So I'm always looking at what can I add to make this look a little bit better, right? And then I'm just like little accents of stuff, like a darkened hallway, like there, and then I can add some lights later, and then like the broken glass, and then some edging here for like a window, and then we got that. Because these lines don't look as crisp as I want them to, especially if I'm trying to, show like glass being blown out or something in that order, side of a building being distressed. There we go. but it's not going to be the only tool. I don't consider the calligraphy pen to be like the one all be all, right? It only can do fine lines. It gets to a certain point where you're like, oh man, I need a little bit more. And that's why I always come to these suckers right here, as you saw me use them last time. Woo! Spin around. Get down. What is this? Let's see here. Cash out and have a come apart. Yeah, crash out and have a come apart. There ain't nothing wrong. Well, there's a lot to go wrong with that, but I mean, I believe in controlled chaos. Sometimes you might get a little upset, and you know it's okay if if you start having a little bit of a upset moment. Just don't get stuck there. You know, it's okay to be a little frustrated because, you know, creativity comes with a little bit of a price. Your sanity, right? So when you really dig in deep and you're like, oh my God, I haven't slept in 4 days and I've been up and I feel the inspiration. Now, that's a dangerous thing when you get the inspiration finally pumping and kicking when you haven't had it in a while. Some people may say you're manic. I don't know. Call to a physician. But when that opportunity hits and you get inspired, yeah, it can seem that way. Everybody's pushed for what they want to do with their work, and it can go for anything, you know, but you just got to be careful not to get too caught up. And I think that goes for a lot of things. There we go. That's beautiful. Now, okay, there. And, let's see here. There's that. And then we got this building up here. In other news, yeah, so Bethesda decided that they're broke and they need money, so they brought out redone remaster of Oblivion for those of you that like video games. So there's that. I don't understand why they just don't make nothing new. I don't understand why people don't make new stuff. What's so hard about making some? Oh, I forgot they got smooth brains. They don't have any kind of anything. There's nothing entertaining anymore. I'm frustrated. There's no entertainment. Everything is kind of just like, what's going on with films? Where's all the fun stuff? There's supposed to be movies later down in the year, but I don't even know. You know, the whole buy-in of things, I'm not really feeling the buy-in. Like, come and look at this. It's going to be great. Right. What's going to be different? We got kazoos. No, you don't have nothing interesting. I'm just going to just go on ahead and do something else. Just, you know, watch a different film. Watch something else. I don't know. I want to see something good. I haven't seen anything good in a while. There are a few movies that are out, but I'm like, nah. Do I really want to go to the theater to see this? Do I really want to go out? You know? And I feel like, because, you know, I'm a mad scientist, it feels like when me and the Dutchies go out to go, like, you know, to places, it feels like we're the Addams family, you know? It just feels like that, just without the cousinette and the bald head, right? But, you know, Uncle Fester with the bald head. But if I had the bald head, that would be great. Bald head energy is intense. And I dropped something. Oh, by the way, I will make sure... I'm going to do this right now. Do you mind if we segue for just a second so I can show you guys what I forgot to show you last on Tuesday, actually? Is that okay? I'll let you guys say yes on here if that's all right. You know, since this is therapy time, and I just wanted to share with my patients what I did, because, you know, sometimes I like to go out and mingle with people who are sane, you know, and it's nice. So I went and I decided to do some watercolor painting with some people at the library, and I wanted to show that before it got too late. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this up on the desk so that way it can't get out of my face. It's right here, so I'm not going to let that get out of sight, right? Out of sight, sure you're right. So there. I showed a little of my age on that, but you may not understand that, and that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I want to show that because I think that was neat. It was actually really neat. Yes, it's all right. Okay. Well, cool. I will show you, Dimitri. I'll throw it up real quick, let you guys see it. Yeah, I feel the same way. Just get it out of the way, right? Just go on ahead and just get this out of the way. Because I need to let this dry. I gotta let that dry because I gotta come back through with this pen and the gray and all of that. So here is the picture that they had us do. Okay, so basically they were doing this technique called transfer. I haven't done transferring since I was in high school, right? And which is basically you rub the picture on the back, right? And then after you rub it with charcoal or pen or whatever, then you put it over there. Look at that. Oh, thank you, Vosto. Good to see you. Yes. So this is the sample picture that we were supposed to do. So the teacher had us do that on the back, and then after that, then she said basically go on ahead and then sketch whatever and paint it. I just looked at it. That's how far I got in an hour, because the class was only an hour long and I was sharing a palette with some people. But that's what I did with watercolor. So I figured, what the hell? I like that. That was actually fun. So that's something else that we could do. And watercolor's cheap. It ain't that expensive. We could probably do that pretty reasonably. So that's something else that we could possibly do. So yeah, I just wanted to show that. I think it looks pretty. It came out pretty nice. I mean, it's not a one-for-one shot, because I hate doing exact replicas. I'm not a person that likes to do an exact replica. I'm not that type of artist. One for one. Plus, it's watercolor. It's almost impossible to do one for one with watercolor. But anyways, that's that. So let's get back here. How you doing, Vosto? Good to see you. What's going on with you? What's new going on with you? You got anything mad to share? Also, I'm one crazy individual with that right type of need of inspiration away from hitting 250 subscribers. I'm almost at the 300 mark. I am almost there. So if you're not too afraid of the madman and the people that are around and the art doesn't scare you too bad, hit that subscribe button. Okay? Don't forget that. We have a fun time here. We do. I just didn't turn any music on because I just wanted to see how I sound talking to you guys, because I keep hearing people talk about do a podcast, talk, podcast. Well, there wouldn't be any music if there was one, but I also feel like the music might take away from me trying to explain things or talk. I do ramble a little bit, but that's probably because of the fact that that's a tick habit, psychological damage. I don't know, maybe head injury, could be all the above. Yes, we were very, very nice using watercolor. Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. And this lady that was there, I'll share a little bit of my experience when I was there. So there was a couple of older ladies that were sitting at my table, and I was in the middle of working on mine, and I was doing what I'm doing right here, right? Just dabbing and everything. And then I started working on some of the shading and detail blending and all that kind of stuff. And then she's like, have you ever done art before? And she's like, are you an artist? And I was like, shh. Like, kind of like Clark Kent, like, I don't want nobody to know. I'm not here for that. I'm not here trying to showboat. I just wanted to just come out and just enjoy it. And it was fun. It was fun, except for I found someone who was staring at me in a mad way. I think this man might have been a little bit insane, but he didn't join. He was sitting across from me, it dawned on me this man might be slightly mad, and I can explain how it happened. Everybody was painting. He was talking about dire wolves, and he got really, really excited about it. A little too excited. Kind of got a little pumped up, if you know what I mean. So he was getting gassed up, and I was like, oh man, I didn't say anything mean. I was just minding my own damn business. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just said, wow, that's something. I was the only person that said, wow, that's something. I didn't know that. Because I was just trying to help the guy out, because he was like way out there, like on a ledge, like, someone listen to me, please. Yeah. He was out there like that. So I decided, okay, I'll help the dude. Let me go on ahead and just talk to the man, right? Let me just see what's really going on with that guy, right? And I did that, and I'm just like, I turned and looked at him, and I was just like, hey, how's it going? And he just kept staring, and just kept staring, and just kept staring, and just kept staring, and then he didn't blink, and I didn't blink. And I said, oh, shit, he's crazy. Yeah, I was like, damn, this man's insane. Because he's looking at me, and he ain't blinking, and I know I'm loose in the cranial area, because I'm not blinking. Because I do that a lot. I have a tendency to stare at people sometimes and not blink. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't know why. But anyways, yeah, so we're staring at each other, and it's like one crazy man looking at another, and I'm like, how crazy is your crazy? And he's looking at me like I'm trying to figure you out, but I have a hard time, people have a hard time trying to read me because I don't think I'm fully human. So, with that being said, he's staring at me, I'm staring at him, he didn't blink, I didn't blink, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go on ahead and get out of here. And then he started talking strange as I was leaving out, and I was like, oh, wow. Well, maybe I might have broke him, because I think he said something about he's gonna he bought a wolf or something. I don't know. The man was having a good time. That's all I can say. I'm not really gonna say anything bad about it. He was having a good time. He did his little painting. He did a great job with his painting. You know, it was really inspiring for him. I think that man doesn't get out of the house much. Maybe that was the reason why. Or maybe he might have seen something coming around my head. Maybe the man was with me. I don't know. I didn't bring him with me. I left him back at the place. I left him here because, you know, well, you haven't seen him in a while because of the fact that he's been acting crazy. So, had to let him chill out here for a little bit. And, yeah, it was great. It was great. Great time. Would definitely do it again. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe not watercolor. Maybe if they got something else, I might try it. They had an acrylic class, but I'm like, I guess I could try that. There we go. Any technique or any information learned is always beneficial because you can always learn to better your skill with that. There we go. So what do you guys want to talk about? Somebody throw something in the chat. Let's see something. Come on. Who's still here? Do we have any people still here tonight? Or anybody still on? And the reason why I'm asking that is because OBS had an update, again, doing its normal computer thing, and it's not acting right. It hasn't been acting right since, what was it, Tuesday? No, Sunday. Sunday it was acting up. So, I don't know what's going on with it, and it seems to be acting finicky. So, that's the reason I was asking that question. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I guess I could go back to, oh, yeah, I could do this. There we are. There it is. You like that? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense right here. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to add the white first. I'm also going to do this because I want to just go on ahead and get this separation out of the way of the ground compared to the gun and the rest of this, because the less I have to be worried about this being fooled with. Because once you start getting into like detail work, you wanna manipulate the picture as least as possible. At least that's what I would recommend. You don't want to keep lingering around in the area that you have pretty solid with trying to, well, maybe I could, well, I think I can, or right here that's usually when the picture goes to a different state, right, and it's not working as well. Yeah, that's something I started picking up on because when I first started painting, I had a lot of messed up canvases still in a closet somewhere where I started, and a lot of them weren't that great, but I kept them because they were. Don't ever want to forget, You know, it's always good to remember where you started and where you're at now. So I always say keep your work. Don't throw it away if you don't. Unless if you just have to. Unless if it's just like, I don't want to see this anymore. I'm so sick of this. You know, this makes me sick. And you do it. I mean, I guess that's okay. I try not to throw anything away, like picture wise, if I can. Not all the time. Let's see here. Well, Mel, the art class. Is it fun? Learn new things. I mean, I relearned like the transfer thing. Like the transfer was something I actually forgot about until the girl was like, "Hey, you know, you can put this here and then do this." I'm like, "Okay," and then sketch that, and I said, "Oh, transferring." You know, not much in terms of like actual teaching of a skill, like a technique. It was more of you know, get familiar with it. We're going to start with watercolor, kind of get you familiar with art, you know, get you familiar with things and get you just in here trying it, right? So I thought that was neat, just giving people in the area that I live the opportunity of having that as an option to do art or to have art, because yet again, everybody's a little bit older, so it gave them an opportunity to try to learn something new, you know. Not everybody was, but still, it's good to learn something new, especially if it keeps the mind sharp. It keeps you engaged and active in things. I tried to myself, and you know, it's beneficial to learn new things. You know, expand your horizons. I believe in that. You know. Well, not as much as like Event Horizon, but you know, you can expand your horizon safely without, you know, that movie. That movie's great, by the way. Is one of my favorites. Event Horizon. It's a good film. If you haven't seen Event Horizon, you need to see it. Do yourself some justice and see that film. Apparently, they had a scene that was so rough that they took out of the movie. And they just took it completely out. They just said, just get rid of it, because it was way too grotesque for them to put that even into like special feature stuff. They just got rid of it. Just said to delete it. So I'm assuming it must have been involving with the slight video in the background. I think they probably were going to show the whole thing with the crew and all of that mess. You know. So let's see. Explain transferring, please. Okay, so transference is basically the ability to take an image. When you take an image, on the back of the image, you will turn it over and you will basically sketch. You know how if you back in the day, you would have a pad, someone wrote something down, or like a spy movie, and you see them like do that little sketching. That's basically it. You sketching to get the impression. And how it works vice versa when you're doing a transfer is that you do that on the back. You just sketch. You know, you can get it as dark as you possibly can. And then when you turn it over, then you take a pencil and then you trace whatever the image is that you want to actually have on your canvas. Once you're done with that, either canvas or your picture or your paper, whatever one. But once you have that image on there, then you can start working on it, painting it, drawing it, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. It's very nice to be able to do that, especially if now when you get more familiar with art and start getting more familiar with yourself with it, then you don't really need that much unless that's just something you want to do. But it's nice, especially if you want to kind of streamline your stuff or make it a little bit quicker and just like, oh man, I need to get to this and just get it going. Then yeah, I would say definitely do that. Yeah, it was a really nice experience. I'm glad that I went. I almost didn't go, but I'm glad I went. I'm glad I did get to go. That was a fun time, and I would definitely say that you guys should check that out in your local area if they got anything going on for art or anything like that, just to give it a try. You know, most local libraries have something. You can find somewhere or somebody that might be doing art locally in your area. So if you're able to, or if you want, let me see. I'm going to look up some stuff. Yeah. I'm going to definitely make sure that isn't forgotten about. What is a good budget for you guys? Those that are still watching, or even if you want to just put it in there, what is a good budget, a good steady price that you would feel comfortable to try to do this in? I would say probably about $30 is what I was going to shoot for the target price to get supplies. Now, I don't know with the current state of the world. Now, I always will say that the current state, because I don't have an idea. Some of the stuff I used to use, I had to get ordered, and it would be from a different place that's not in the USA. But I don't know, and I will see and look at some different options if that comes up and becomes a problem. But yet again, I don't think anything should be an issue with the other situation going on at tariff or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to even talk about it because it's kind of just silly. We can all agree that everything right now is silly, right? We can just agree on that. We don't know everything, but we can definitely say there's a lot of clown buffoonery going on. A lot of clown stuff. A lot of funny business. Funny business with no front. And if you know what that means, welcome to the party. What do you mean, Mel? If you know what it means to have no front. It's kind of grim once you figure it out. I don't want to say it on here because it's kind of grim when you figure it out. But, and you might not be able to figure it out. But if you're not, oh, what is this? Oh, well, that did exactly what I needed to do. And I'm happy. That's great. Okay, good. Now, let's see. We got a significant amount of that done. I think I can do some touch. There we are. So, let's see. I'm going to try to... So I'm just going to dab it a little bit, right? There we go. So I want to make this look like the ground caved in, right? Like it just got hit with something or something crashed, right? So that's what I'm trying to do here. Trying to make this look like something's going on. There we are. There we go. Okay, there we are. There. Alright. Ah, my elbow. Leaning too hard on that sucker. Alright. So you guys want some music or you want to talk? Which one would you guys like? Music or talk? I'm trying to think of something to talk about that ain't too crazy or weird. Unless if you guys got a topic, it can be crazy or weird. I don't care. I'm going to talk about world events. You can talk about whatever the hell you want to. I don't care tonight. We'll just talk. You know, conspiracy. You saw something weird. Anybody see any UFOs? I saw a horse stand up on his hind legs and go into a Starbucks, and then he ordered a whole bunch of coffee, and then he went into the bathroom, came out, and said, "No, sir, I don't like it," and left. I mean, even if that happened, that's cool. You know. Either way, we don't have a lot of interesting stories go on anymore. People have kind of died down here in the facility, so I don't really get much action right now. Trying to be on a good hiatus, you know. We were trying to do a new incentive here, you know. If everybody can cooperate and keep their hot cut on for at least 30 days, then we'll get to have a little bit of a party. And that means that we'll get out and go do something. But what can I do? They can't act right. Or maybe it's my fault because I encourage the behavior because, you know, I'm also a client. No. Let's see. There we go. That's cool. And then... okay. Oh yeah, that's nice. The inmates will run the asylum. I mean, possibly. I mean, you never know what might happen in here, Asmodeus. You know, like the inmates might, and you know, I mean, I don't even have much control in here. I mean, I haven't seen Mr. Smiles at all. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where his helper bot is at. Both of them are missing right now currently. Who knows? I don't know what's going on in this place. You know? I know one thing. The keys are missing for some of the coats. And I don't know which one of you took them. But I hope that you put them back where they were at before the end of the stream. That would be so kind because it would be such a shame if you guys lost cookies and punch time. And then you get the thick bot shakedown at 5 o'clock. And you don't get that because someone keeps messing up. And then we got the new gyro system for the hips, and we're going to put that in full turbo mode. But you get to miss out because someone took the keys. So I want the keys back on the desk at the front counter at the end of the stream. And then if that happens, then we keep to do the show. And if it doesn't, then you guys don't get the thick bots. You guys don't get any of that turbo mode. Yeah, we got new hip gyros. We got new pistons. We even got the ejectable cheeks. So as it's shaking, it'll, shoot out and then it'll, come out. So you get the full experience. But you don't get that unless there's someone find those keys. Not my problem. I mean, I'm fine. I'm not the one in the hot coat. But, all of this madness can end if someone type it in there for me. What do they need to do? They need to find something. One of you mad ones can help me out here. Help them out. Help your fellow yes member out. What is it that they need to find? If only we could find those what? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyways, this looks pretty good. I think I'm about... I don't know what else to do with this. Do you guys think that I need to put more and more detail on it? Because I was thinking about putting more metal stuff and more of the stuff. Because I'm just like, what more can I do that hasn't already been done? Like, the ground's already busted open. There's a hole in it. I'm trying to see really what's left. Because I don't know what might be left. And that's the hard part about big pictures too, is like when you start looking at, am I near done? Am I complete? Is this finished? But then that's usually when it's half baked and it's not completely done. There's something still left there to do at some point, I'm sure. And if you give it enough time, you'll find it, what to do. Like I just found right there. And like I found right here. There we go. Alright. What we got here, man? Let's see, Madman Illustrations is my favorite. Madman Illustrations. Madman Illustrations. I like that. My favorite. I like that. Thank you, Vosto. Yes. Thank you very much. I'm glad. I hope that this is other people's favorite show too. I like being here. You know what else I also like? Bipedal robots. But I like being here too. I like bipedal robots. You know what else I like? I don't know. But when I find out, I will let you know. And that will be a great time for all of us. Because I'm like, hey, you know what? And then you guys will be like, oh, what, Mel? What is it, man, Mel? And I say, hey, I know that thing now. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, but I still can't get right. And, oh, man, what do you mean you can't get right? Well, I just can't get right. And that's the next topic. How many of you can't get right? How many of you feel like you can't get right? I've been feeling like that. I can't get right. What is I can't get right? Well, it's like I feel some kind of way, but no matter what I do, I can't not feel that kind of way. Now, it's not like depressed or anything, but it's like, nah, I might say, I've had a friend say, you might be jaded. And I'm like, I'm not in Mortal Kombat, so, and I don't have any finishers yet. Nobody's given me, like, a finisher for the game. But, I don't think I'm jaded. I think really the thing is that, and I might be stepping out of line here, but is it just me or is the attention span depleting? And I'll just say why. I went to a little event, the event that I went to over the weekend. I had people looking and stuff, and it was interesting. And I showed stuff, and I've been observing this observation I've had for a little over almost 2 years now. And I've realized that the ability for concentration and understanding is becoming very, 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 very thin. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody. Maybe your stress level is too high. Maybe you ain't getting enough protein. Maybe you might need to cut the booze out with the cereal. I don't know. I'm not in your body. But what I will say is I've been noticing it. It just seems like it. I went to see a movie based on Mad Mel illustrations. Oh, you want to see a movie based on me? Okay, well, that would be an interesting thing. That would be an interesting film. I don't know how that would start off, you know, it would say something like, I was born, and then like a rocket ship would smash in through the roof of the building, like, here he is, he's born. And then that would be the beginning of the film, right? And then it would say, all my life has been hard. And then I would just see a man run out screaming. It would just be like a 2-year-old child sitting on the edge of a curb. And he's like, hey, little boy, what do you want to do? You out here by yourself? Fully voiced and animated. Yeah, you're by yourself. And I look at him, and he just catches on fire right there. Boom, on fire, just screaming, right? And then it's like, oh no, and just like, oh boy, this child's something else. And then I grow up. And then I get older, and then I find out that I'm an anomaly, and I'm not real. Like, I start punching my body through time and space. Like, I can walk through walls, and I'm like, oh, man, but I like humans. And then I find out later that NASA stole my ship. It could have a movie. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like, look at this drawing. The art style is unique. Yeah, it could. I mean, it very could. Like, I could have the power to manipulate time and space around me by art. Like that would be my power. Like, I want to steal. Give me all your money. I'm like, you know what? Does this look funny? And then just like this thing come out, grab them in the face, and their head starts shaking, like, and then they get dragged off into it, and their feet are kicking in the paper. Oh boy, I would love that. Oh man, that would be great just to see that. And then C-Man comes and destroys all of those robots. Yep. But I have to have DB Man there too. So C-Man and DB Man would just see each other, and then they'd be like, wah, 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 yes, wah, 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 yes, and just tear everything apart. And then a horse would fall through the ceiling, and then the horse would fall through the ceiling and start kicking his legs around, and they would end up folding up into a transformer, and they would ride off. Yeah, it'd be a great damn film. I smell Oscar. Whatever you draw comes to life. Exactly. That's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. Man, that would be a horror film. That would be so unhinged. It would be crazy. Just, what are you gonna draw? And then you just, and then the moment you get done with that, it would be like a little spit, like a Death Note or something. I'll just draw a picture and be like, handle them, and then this thing would be like, come out. And, you know, it might be like a big hammer on this hand, an ass on its chest, you know, face yelling, help me over here, and screaming, and it might be a tricycle hooked up to this arm. Be some really wild stuff. You would think that you're losing your mind. By the time you leave the film, you're going to have to go get some help. I'm serious. Someone would ask you, how's the movie? And you'll go into a complete tirade of like, I didn't need all that. Why did they put this in my shopping cart? The last time I bought water was when I went hiking in the Himalaya mountains with that Eskimo Joe and Cowboy Frank, and we took that spaceship into the mountains. You'll sound like that, and then you will know I did a good job, because now you're insane. That's all I can ask for, being an artist, that I'll inspire somebody, and I might break your brain a little bit. But I think that's kind of the niche. Everybody likes to have their brain kind of twisted up. Okay, this is great. I like this. That looks good. I am very pleased with this. That looks very good. I am happy with that. Now, what I'm going to come through here and do is I'm going to do a wash. I'm going to probably wash that. What do you mean by that, Mel? What is a wash? What you gonna put? You know, whatever. I would pay millions of dollars to get that power. Yes, giant gun. You know. Here's another one that I would do. Here's another one that I would love to do. I could walk up to you with an eraser and erase body parts, and then draw something else morphing off your body. That's one I would like. I just walk up to you and be like, you don't have a nose. I'm gonna put a big old like pirate chest on your face, and your whole head would drop to the ground. Like, what? Oh man, could you imagine that? Like, you're sitting there and it's like you're just talking. I'm like, you know, what if your lips turn into a pair of monster lips, and you just see the mouth reach over and grab the back of the head and just go right into the bottom jaw, like your whole body rotate because you literally ate yourself. Yeah, no, it would be sinister. I like this. Oh boy, I'm excited. Now I got to make a machine and make this real. What would this be called? What would it be called? Well, like what would the premise of it be? Just like the life of Mad Mel? Would that be it? Did it just be the life of Mad Mel, and just find out that he's just an anomaly? You know, it could work. Sounds like it would be fun. Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty fun. I don't know. If you guys really want to see something with this, and I mean this, like if you guys really want me to work on something involving with this, and you really want it, you know, gotta let me know. Because if you guys really want to see this, I'll do it. Because I've been thinking about doing some more DB Man and the Anomaly. Okay. All right. That's good. That's a good working title. Okay. I like the Anomaly. That sounds pretty good. That's something to work with. I will pin that to the page. I will pin that to the page of this project. Now, you guys really want to see this, I will work on something, because I wanted to do some stuff with DB Man, and I wanted to do some stuff, and I can throw. This will give me an opportunity to throw multiple things together, and we could probably make this a thing. Let's see, the better Mad Mail's better than the thing. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that looks great, man. Well, thank you, Demetri. Yeah, no, that would be a great man. Like, and the fact is that yeah, I draw. So Mad Mail draws stuff, and he does these things. So like, if he came across any monster or anything, it would be almost perfect balance. Now there is something that he would, eventually run into something that I can't stand, or something that I can't really deal with. I don't know what that would be. We'll figure that out later. But yeah, that would be great. Oh, I know what it would be. It can be like somebody with a smooth brain. They don't have nothing. Yeah, it would be the smooths. The smooths. I like that. Look at these smooths over here. And some people are like, I know what that really means. And if you do, keep your mouth shut. What does that mean? There's no derogatory remark. It's actually an inside joke that's a little grim. And I'm kind of trying to save the group from having to deal with that, because it's a grim joke. It's a little grim, but it's nothing bad, and it's not like anything that's oh my God, you're saying terrible things. There's nothing like that. There's no damn dog whistle or any stupid stuff like that. But what I can say is a removal of a certain body part. That's as far as I can go. What body part is that? Well, you have to find out. Or just be a part of the Discord, and I'll tell you guys in there sometime if you ask me what is smooth. Or somebody will probably say that. Getting smooth. Smooth brain. If your brain's smooth, everything's smooth. Right. The many different mottos that you can have. Now, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I think I'm at a point right now I need to leave this alone, and I'll come back to it. So, we got about 20 minutes. You want to draw something? You want to pull up another picture to work on? I could probably do that. Let me get something else. This is at a point now I'm going to have to really figure out what I want to do with this painting. I think I'm at a point where there ain't much I really want to do over here. I mean, it's a building, it's some busted cars, Let's see, real life stats edition, like being able to edit someone's strength and intelligence or stamina. Yeah, like I walk up to you and I just erase. I'm like, you only got 2 HP, and then you just see someone like their whole chest cave in and half their head go, and they're like, oh my God, help me! And just collapse on the ground like, ah! You got 2 HP. Ah! Ah! You have no dexterity, and they just drop everything. I can't, boom, boom, and they just fall on the ground. Help me, I can't stand up. That kind of stuff. It's like, oh, you have -2 strength, and they're like, why did you do this to me? Clank. Start shaking around and stuff. Yeah, close and tight. Yep, that's where it started. It started with the close and tight joke, and then it went to something else. Ah, boy, I don't want the overlords to get mad with that, but yeah, it all starts somewhere. But yes, that would be great. That whole thing would be great. What would be the main process of what would be the big thing about Mel in this whole story? What is he trying? What am I trying to do? I guess it would just be me living my normal life, and because a lot of chaotic things happen in my life, a lot of chaotic people. Also, editing yourself. Oh yeah, definitely editing myself. I mean, yeah. It would be one of those things like as I'm thinking it, I'm like, oh man, you want to see something really wild, and I just destroy. I'm like, you want to see something really crazy, and then I start adding stuff to myself or changing my body or changing my body parts or the other part too is I can have already drawn like pictures that are already drawn, and I just take it out and I just throw it on the ground or something, or just tap on it like, hey, I need you to do something, and it just comes to life or whatnot. That would be fun. That would be a great fun time. So I picked up a picture, and I'll show you guys. Well, I don't really want to show the person's work because I don't know. I don't really care. I paid for it, so it don't really matter. So there's this Thick Thighs Save Lives painting I have, right? I ain't going to put it too close up in the camera, but you can kind of see this, right? Kind of see it, right? A little bit. Yes, so I got that, but I'm thinking, well, I can draw butt cheeks and a skirt because, I'm good at that. So I figured, why not? It's a cute painting. Don't get me wrong. I like the work that the girl did. I like how she did the picture, and it's nice. It's really nice, and I like it. But I was just like, but there needs to be more. Sell that stuff? Yeah, I will. I mean, it's real easy to do. I just need to go on ahead and just work on that. I guess I'll try to come up with a concept. I will piddle with it, but I think this is pretty much it right now for this. I mean, it's pretty well done. I think at this point I'm going to leave it, and then I'll go back over it again because I got to do this wash. I want to do a wash, like a metallic wash on it, and I know exactly what I want to do with that because when I do the wash, I'll be able to get kind of this looking color all over all of this, so it'll darken it up. It's the similar kind of technique that they use for models, that kind of technique. But that's what I'm going to try to do. Oh boy, look, my leg again because it's hot in here, and yes, I'm wearing shorts. So there, I broke the immersion. You guys caught me. Oh my God, I got legs. Damn. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix this camera first. Uh-oh, my body. There we go. That's decent enough, I think. Nope. See, that's what happens when you bump stuff. I bumped it. Just a little bit. That's all it took was just a little dollop of dexterity loss. I had a little dex loss, and then I bumped that. But here's the thing. I want to sketch this out. I want to sketch it out. Why not? Why not, right? I could just freehand it. Showing legs on the internet for free? I mean, they ain't my legs. I'm about to show my legs. That's what I'm about to show. Listen, man, I'm about to call someone's nose to hemorrhage, right? Because what you saw there with that offset of the stocking, well, there isn't enough of that nice cheek bulge in the thigh. You know the one I'm talking about. That little chubby piece some people have a nose hemorrhage over. Yeah, that's missing that. But I paid attention. Now, I gotta find the pencil. Or I could just bite my thumb off and just bleed all over the thing. We could do that too. But I want it to be pretty. So we're going to get this all background set up. They went with a tan. and a little bit of a cream color. But I think what we're going to go with is something a little bit different. And what that little bit different is I'm going to just use this as a reference. And I'm probably just going to set this right here in my lap because I want to look at something specifically with this that, okay, the lines are a lot thicker than what I want to do, but that's okay. And let's see, that's going to be up at the top. So I'm just going to draw it. I don't care. You got to trust in your skill, right? That's the biggest thing. Trust in your skill. If you know that you can do it, do it. Don't overthink it. There we go. All right. Here we go. I'll do this. I'll use this one. I think this one is dried out, and I'm going to have to do some priming work on that, but that's okay because I can use the actual calligraphy pen. So here we go. Yes, and I don't usually show my thighs off for free, right? But in this case, yeah, I'm going to do some free thighs today. Uh-oh. There we go. That's the beautiful thing about little time-lapse videos. People who do time-lapse like this, they're like, oh man, you don't get to see all the hard stuff that they deal with. See, I like the thick thighs, same lies, but I'm a man from the old school of the thicker the better, right? I'm from that kind of thing. Now I know you might be like, oh my God, what about the children? I don't know, man. This isn't really a you know, a children type of stream. I hate it if they found this. I mean, you know, it's not bad for that part, but and I hate the fact if I have to do the whole 18 plus, which sucks, you know. Yeah, there it is. Right? Alright. Alrighty, here we are. And because she's wearing a schoolgirl dress, there we go, and get a little plait there. You know, a little belt line. There we are. Yeah, that's cute. Okay. Alright, there we go. A little bit there. That's the general idea, right? Kind of the idea. Uh-oh. And dang. There it is. Oxygen. Oxygen. Again, oxygen is the biggest enemy to a calligraphy pen. My goodness, is it ever. And temperature. Oh my goodness. Temperature sucks. We're trying to keep. Just trying to. Bam. Okay. So that's the idea, general idea. But what I'll probably do is change the line work up. And then I'll probably fix this. But it's a start. It's a start. Alright, how's that look? Not bad. Not bad. Alright. So now, I gotta fix that. Because I want that to make sense. So we're going to do a little bit of surgery. Now, it ain't going to be really that big of a deal. Because what I'm really going to do is I'm going to come back through here. And I'm going to actually hit it with the skin tone. I'm probably going to make it more of a darker complexion. Oh my god, he's going to a blonde girl. Oh my god, shit, no! Right? I know somebody's ass got tight. I don't care. Anyways, I got some stuff coming up because there's an event coming up soon, and I want to try to get some of that work done, like I said before. So, if this is going to make you feel some kind of way, I hate it. Sorry. Pity. You know what? Sometimes I like to do art that resembles my body. You know? There's nothing wrong with that. It's always about what you find to be interesting. Now, I'm going to figure out what do I want to do, because I don't want to... I'm not trying to... Let's see. Because the tone in the back, I want it to be nice. I want this to be kind of a warmer picture, so I want to probably use these three tones, similar tones, for the background with a mixture of canary yellow. I'm gonna get some canary yellow. Yeah. So it'll look nice. The yellow will bring it forward. It's summertime, right? Little summer dress, right? So that's going to be the idea. Now, find some canary yellow. Do I have any canary yellow? Dilemma. I'm not sure. I thought I did. Maybe, maybe not. Is it over here? Is it over there? Did somebody eat it? Well, I will tell you guys this. I want this to be a glossy medium. Medium. Now I'm going to show you guys a little something about mediums. And we're not talking about the type that are psychic, right? So, if I can find the yellow, then we will be somewhat in business. Lemon yellow. Good as it's going to get. All right, so we got those tones. We got those. Got everything there. Looks pretty good. Hey, there's still a bunch of people watching. I am. We are booty warriors. Yeah. You know, this is that time of year, gentlemen, you need to be careful. Because ladies, you have this thing called the sundress. And that damn thing is diabolical. Many people get in trouble because of that. Be careful. Right? So, yeah, be careful out there. I know you guys wonder about that laugh that I do. I've practiced that laugh my whole life. I love that. I love that. I can even get more hysterical than that. I can get a lot worse. I can get a lot. You know what's even funny? I do it in real life too. Like, there is really no difference between what I'm doing here and how I am in real life. Like, the only reason why I tone it down in real life is because I try to give people the opportunity to kind of get to know me without getting freaked out, right? So that's what I normally try to do, but usually that doesn't turn out to be the case, right? It always turns out to be something else. And I'm going to do this technique that I saw where, amazing laugh, thank you very much. So I'm going to do this technique where I'm going to just basically go over this whole thing with the yellow, and then I'm going to go back over with some different colors and do the whole layering and stuff, and I'm going to make it real cute and pretty. So for the little bit of time that we have here, I'm going to try to just get this thing covered up in as much yellow as I possibly can. So we'll do it this way. We'll do the funky four corners. And if you know the actual dance, that's cool too. What is this? Do tell the spell of the sundress. I mean, damn, okay, if you really want to know. Okay, so a lot of times the sundress is a little bit more flowy for females and it shows off the female body more. Therefore, most men who are very attracted to seeing things with the eyes, they end up seeing that prize. And then when they do that, then it makes them not think properly. They think in a different way, right? So when they start thinking that way, that gets them in trouble. So, and what I mean by trouble is the fact that they don't do the actual thing that they need to do. Figure out the person. Is this person a psychopath? How many people have they chopped up in the bathtub? Do they remove organs? Are they even a human being? Are they some type of interdimensional demon? Like, the real questions. All they think is, the sundress, you know, and they go off. And they, oh man, I gotta get that sundress, it just oh my god. And then they lose their mind. Then you find out she likes to eat people, and she got you chained up to a radiator in the middle of fall, and then she's getting you prepped for Christmas because she's about to take your liver out of your body, and you become a New York statistic when they find you, right? Why am I talking like this? Because it happens all the time. All the time. Or people end up having children before they're ready with someone because, and I know this because of people who have been friends of mine. They're like, oh my God, she had that dress on. And then they start screaming and crying. And life is over. And, you know, and I'm like, well, it's really not, you know, if you know, but that's the thing. Like, it's, people are fast and everybody's after, well, people are fast and after ass. So that's pretty much what's going on. People are fast and they're after ass, and everybody's trying to have a good time. But when you go out after the sundress, that's when you have a bad time. Because the dress hides all the mess and it gets you every time. If you go after the chick wearing the sundress, she's going to end you in due time. I guess. I don't know. I shot that from the hip. Whatever. You might come up with something different. I don't care. You know, it's all that. I'm really late. Oh, it's okay, Skew. Thank you for being here, though. You made it. You're like, I'm... And here's the thing, too. If none of you guys are getting your notifications, please let me know, because I'm so damn tired of YouTube screwing me. Not just me, but other content creators. So, YouTube, get your act together, okay? I'm sorry that they did whatever they did with TikTok and brought this bullshit over here. And I'm going to say it the way I feel it. So I'm sorry if somebody feels offended by how I'm going to say this. But TikTok brought their shit over here and it messed up the algorithm. Now everything's jacked up because of it. Thank you, you donkey punch pieces of trash. I'm so happy for you that you came over here. Thank you. Now, if you guys are from here and you're watching the show, cool. That's fine. Don't have a problem with that. I don't like the fact that the algorithm got messed up. Now, it doesn't go by people subscribing and watching. It goes by how much you watch in a day. It goes by how much you watch in a day. So let's say that you watch, I don't know, Hot Wheel racing cars being slammed into the wall. That's all the hell you're going to get notifications for because you watch that. Not that you're subscribed to somebody. It'll start to become less and less because their algorithm's trash. You know? I always think of it this way. It's like these entities that like the Bogart stuff, I always think of it as like having a doorman that's in a wheelchair. He thinks he's hard, but he ain't doing shit. He thinks he's badass. He thinks he's really out. I'm going to get you. I wish you would. Now, if you're in a wheelchair, I'm not making fun of you being in a wheelchair. About people in wheelchairs. I'm not making fun of nobody in a wheelchair. I've had many people in wheelchairs. Hell, I've been in a wheelchair before. Sick and not able to move around, And I'm not getting any notifications about your show. See, that's shit. Thank you for telling me. Anybody else? If anybody else is, let me know. Or if you don't, right now, just throw it in the Discord. Let me know there. Definitely join the Discord if you haven't already, or if you're thinking about it. If you're contemplating, man, my God, this guy's funny as hell. I love it. I love listening to this man. That crazy, that guy wearing those goggles, and he's talking, and he was really talking some shit. And I saw him painting some thighs, and I like his show. I really like his show. Then hit the subscribe button and join, and then you get to be here. And when they get the notification shit figured out, then you'll know when the show's on. Because other than that, you got to look for the clown with no penis on the unicycle that says Mad Male Show's on. YouTube's really ass. Yeah, is a real ass. It is. YouTube is a real ass. You got that right. YouTube is a real ass. YouTube is like one of those people. It's like a person that you go to a show and they're like, hey, you got to pay $20 to park, and they take your money and then you get a ticket. Right? I thought my car was safe. No, sir, you parked over here and that's not where you were supposed to park. Well, that guy, yeah, that's YouTube. That guy. The guy that's like, hey, hey, you want to get monetized? Yeah, I like to make some money. Who the fuck wouldn't want to make some money? I'm sorry to say it like that, but I mean, shit, it's real. Who wouldn't? Well, you gotta do this, and you gotta do that. Oh, okay, well, I did it. You haven't met all the requirements. Oh, go robot dog yourself in the backyard. What does that mean? I don't even know, but whoever becomes the first casualty of a robot dog will have a baseline to work off of. Oh, yeah, by the way, Honda's got that damn abomination. Is it Honda? Yeah, it's Honda that's got the abomination dog. And I just had a thought about it. What are you going to do when you got some... Man, that's terrifying. I just thought, and I thought about it again. You got one of those fucking robots on a damn robot dog. Right? You got shit running that can't sleep. I don't know. I think about that every so often. I'll be in the middle of cooking something, making some food, and then I'm like, man, one of these days I want to be sitting here in this kitchen and all of a sudden, boom, just grab my damn head and pull my ass straight through the window and I'm gone because some damn Terminator grabbed me and I'm not going to have no chance. And I think about that sometimes. And you know what I do? I usually laugh hysterically at the kitchen wall that I'm standing in front of when I'm washing a plate or something like that. And I laugh hysterically because what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Am I going to scream for a no? No, Mr. Billy Badass, you're not going to get out there and act tough. No, well, I tell you what I do. No, you're going to die. That's what you're going to do. You're going to get your head crushed, and your feet are going to kick around. You're going to make that dumbass noise, right? And then you're going to hear that crunch, and that shit. You know how their arms shake? Yeah, it's going to be doing that. A lot of shimmy, a lot of shake, a lot of sideways Charleston. You're going to see a lot of rhythm. And then it's over. Rhythm is a dancer, and then it's done. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And if you think about it in life like that, hell, it makes it easier. It's kind of like, man, I ain't even worried about nothing. You know, I feel bad for you if you're trying to run. Forget it. Forget it. You're going to get tired and die. I mean, robots, man. I don't know. I want to be happy about it because I'm a tech boy. I'm a mech head. I love robots. I love bipedal robots. I love robots. But now I'm drawing them in a terrifying way because they terrify me. Because man's doing dumb shit. But, you know, whatever. Whatever. Oh, man. We went over. Well. I tell you what. It's been fun. And it's been real fun. But now, time has got the gun. And I tell you what. We're going to get done with this part. And then I'm going to get off of here. We'll dab it up. Dab it up, dab it up, dab it up. See, I like to dab. Both on here and in real life. No, I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. But anyways, but yeah, dabbing the paint really helps. And I put gesso on here. I put some gesso on here, so it's going to hold the paint a lot better, and it's going to allow us to be able to manipulate a little bit more and get some more done. And we'll put a little dollop of daisy there. Do not eat this. It's not daisy. It's not food. I don't know how often I have to explain to people, don't eat the products that you use to do things. Well, yeah, it smells like sweet candy. That's lead-based paint, Timmy. Oh my God. Bye, Timmy. Oh my God, my life. And yeah, well, you know, Timmy ate that lead-based paint. He said it tasted sweet, and now Timmy ain't here no more. See you later, Timmy. Poor Timmy. Timmy is a default man. Timmy and Jim are usually a default man I use that I always run into casualties. And Frank. I don't know. Something about those three names usually associated with somebody getting severely hurt. I don't know why. Every time I knew a Jim, a Frank, or something like that, they always got hurt anywhere I ever worked at. So I just associated that name with people who like to get physically hurt or who end up getting hurt for whatever reason. I don't know. It's kind of a weird way of putting it. But look at all Miss Yellow. We got it set. We got an idea. And then when I come back through here, oh man, it's going to be smexy as I don't know what. Because I have a basis, but what I'm thinking of is not gargantuan. I ain't going to give her no like turbo, like big old turkey leg here and turkey leg there. No, but I'm talking about nice old, you know, we're going to get this shaped and then we're going to give a little bit of curvature here. And then right here, we're going to just widen it out to a peak right there. And then we're just going to give it that nice little hourglass. And I want to give her that nice little heart-shaped ass. And then we're done. And then I will control the world through thickness. Wait, hold on. That ain't correct. Let me go here and do it right. The thickness. There. Now you got to see it in full spec. I hope you guys had a good time at the show tonight. Someone become number 50. Please subscribe and become number 50. What, you want me to tie my shirt in a knot for you? No. But yes, I had a fun time tonight. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like, share, send it to your friend. If you got somebody that's crazy, that loves to do art, tell them, hey, there's some crazy black guy doing art out here. He's insane. He may be an anomaly. I might look into doing that, possibly making that into a short story. Hey, Skew, bye-bye. Thank you, Vosto. Thank you. I hope you have a good night as well. Stay mad, you too. And for all of you out there, I want you guys to embrace the madness. And I hope that I inspired you a little bit to just have fun with art. And don't take yourself so seriously if you didn't learn anything at all tonight. Just enjoy yourself. Sometimes we take ourselves too seriously in life, and we take things too seriously. And if you don't ever take a moment to be able to reflect on things, then you don't know when you've had a good moment or a bad. You just get caught up in the bull. So, you know, it was, maybe that might help you. And motivational word of the night, since you thought that was it, right? Let's see. in everything you do, make sure that you have the right type of intention in doing it, because if you're doing it with the wrong intention, you will not succeed in what you're doing. You will actually put a plague upon yourself. And what do I mean by that? If you're trying to do something new in your life, go out with the intention that you're trying to do it for the betterment of yourself, not to try to do it to try to make somebody jealous or try to get over on someone. That's the only thing I can say. Use the right type of intention for the things that you're doing, and your results will come out a little bit better than if you were doing it maliciously. Anyways, I'm out of here. You guys have a good one. I will see you Sunday. Yeah, I'll see you Sunday. Stay mad. I'll see you soon. Bye.